welcome everybody. We are starting episode
It's
6 of
just
Dead
dwarven
Beginnings.
spit. It's probably
The
mostly
party
fermented
has
anyway.
followed Dalen's tattoo to an estate that happened to be his grandfather's estate, the Silvesteri Manor. And
He's a
he's
walking
come
cake.
across the party, and I will, I'll fill you in as I fill in the
We need to
party.
get him a helmet with cup holders.
Nice. Okay, so just to recap, while Bogner was off looking for a wizard to identify some stuff for you all, Tertius, one of your newer companions that you came across when you were asked to do a side job for the City Watch to take out a little goblin fortress, if you will, um, has decided to kind of also follow along with your group. Uh, he had some unfinished business that he had to finish up in town, and they are trailing behind you. And they'll show up here shortly. Where we find ourselves, and let me share the map out to everybody, is we followed Daelon. The party has followed Daelon's tattoo urgings to the northeast and eventually wound up at Silvesteri Manor, which is the estate of his grandfather. And he's found out that his grandfather and the rest of his grandmother here were killed, and a coin was left. Let me bring up that coin.
And we've killed some chihuahua-sized spiders.
Yes. There it is. That's the skull coin that was found. Um, and then shortly thereafter, finding that coin, and of course the local mayor, if you will, of the area, um, not knowing if there was any family to get a hold of, eventually has put up the property for auction, and that's where you guys have shown up here. Um, but surprisingly, for some reason, some spiders have seemed to have taken over the manor in a very short time, and that's obviously very curious as to why spiders would show up in a very recently um, working household. And so you've been asked to go ahead and clear out the spiders, and Dalen's secondary, or maybe even his primary, concern is trying to find some proof that this is his estate through family. So that's where we are. We're at the front of the door. You just killed two large spiders, each about the size of a small cat, and you're at the front door. You've got a local clerical elf, Thempior Galastacia, who has decided to help somewhat, but he is just along for the ride. You're not sure why he's here.
All right. But the doors are closed, I assume.
Cracked. We can see just barely in. That's the
Yep, the one door is
as far as
just
we can see
cracked,
in there.
and you are about ready to enter.
So before
All
we
right.
enter, though, I was going to ask you if you wanted me to run around the building, if I could see anything around the building along the top of that wall.
The wall does not extend above the building. The building has 2 floors.
Yeah, but I just was meaning, I mean, there should be windows and stuff that I should be able to.
Sure.
I'm just asking if he wants me to do that or if we want to go ahead and just do a frontal assault.
Well, I figure we'll do the frontal assault anyway, but it might be worth doing some scouting to see are there lights or anything in there any movement. I doubt there will be, the way people have been acting about it, and the fact that there's spiders out here. But it can't hurt to take a quick look, assuming it is a quick look.
Well, I was just going to run around the top of the wall just to see if I see anything. But if we want to go as a party, we can do that. So choice.
I'm up for just pulling one of the doors open. Although I'm basically, before I pull a door open, I'll tell people I'm gonna open this door. You guys stay ready for whatever could happen when I open it.
Okie doke. I get my bow out. I'm prepped, knocked, rocked.
Okay.
All right, and I will. Is the door open in or out? That's cracked.
Opens in.
All right, I will ready my shield anyway, and just kind of shove the door in with the shoulder and be prepared for anything that might be right. Shield and sword, because I can shove with my shoulder.
Okay. You open the door, and two spiders are there, and Daelon, can see the one labeled Spider 3 there, and everybody but well, Nadia and Daelon can both see the Spider 6. I'll say, because Thempior's got a door blocking him, and Evander's still too far outside, so it looks dark inside the manor.
Okay. Do we need to roll initiative if we want to do anything specific with these spiders, or do we...
No, we're already in initiative, so you've used your action.
Okay.
You can see two spiders. You're at your bonus action,
Okay.
and or move.
I think I will just stay blocking the door for the moment, so I'll let people come, or let the spiders come through me.
Okay. Now for Tertius.
Would I get a surprise action so I was prepared?
No, because you weren't
Okay.
sure what you were surprising. Bogner and Tertius.
Yeah, but I got my short bow ready. That's okay.
Yeah, I'll still say not for this.
Okay.
At this time. So Bogner and Tertius, you guys have been traveling quickly to catch up. This was a several-day journey for them. They were traveling more leisurely, and so you're actually only like 2 rounds behind them. So in 2 rounds, you guys will appear at the gates, and that'll be here. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Daelon, so unless you're going to move or you have a bonus action, that'll be the end of your turn. I'll remind people, bring up the combat tracker. It'll help you out. That's the crossed swords in the upper right of the table.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna stay here. Just I figure I'll let the spiders come. I'll stay where I'm the person the spiders would focus on first.
Okay, that'll be the end of your turn, I guess.
Oh, that's right. I need to do that normally.
All right. Well, Spider 3, he definitely sees you.
These are also cat-sized.
Also cat-sized. He moves
They
up.
act a lot differently than the little spider.
Yeah, the last one bit you though, and you felt a burning.
Yep. This one's going to come up, and he's going to bite at you as well. But doesn't penetrate your steel boot. The other spider moves up and actually moves here, so you can't see him, except he does kind of come around the side of the door, and he attempts to bite Daelon around the side of the door, and he is not
I
successful.
missed. Yeah, I missed where he's in that dark area past behind the closed door. Is that
Yeah.
where? Okay.
He's tucked behind there. All right, Evander. Let's see. Evander's going to hold his crossbow action. Nadia, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna start by moving a little bit over to the side, just so I'm not gonna shoot Daelon in the back of the head.
All right.
And then I'm gonna try to hit Spider 3.
Okay. You hit it.
Did.
All right.
Am I now able to see in at that angle, by the way?
No,
Or is it still blocked? Okay.
it's blocked. I mean, this is a flat spider. I mean, they're cat size, but they're not very tall. So he hides behind the door pretty well.
Okie dokie. Well, then I will call my turn done.
All right. The other elf, he holds his action. Daelon, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna move into the room so I can be close to the other spider, but still give other people access into the room. Also, is that gonna be? Will that spot give sufficient access to everybody else?
Yeah, because the other door can open as well.
I was going to tell you, you've already done this, so your turn exists. I slammed the other door open, hoping to squash the spider.
He still could. He could grab the door and just see me crush it.
I could, but I think um, my fancy. I'm gonna try to get some guts on my fancy longsword.
You succeed. You stab the spider right through the door. And it dies.
All right, I'll open the other door so we can let some more air in here, and maybe some of the spiders will run out while we're not paying attention and run away.
You have dark vision at 60 feet, so let me unmask some more. So you see another spider back in the back. And sorry for the map. This is a very low res map. I didn't have time to find a better high res, so. But you get the general idea of rooms and stairs and whatnot.
Are both of those stairs going up, or is one up and one down?
One is up, one is down.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, both are down. Sorry. Oh, how funny.
Your turn done?
So this is actually in European style. So you are on the ground floor. This is a 3-story building in American style.
So then there's floor 1 and 2 up above us.
Correct.
Okay.
So both of
Yeah,
those stairs
I'll
go
end
up.
my turn here.
Okay. Evander really can't see inside, so he's just holding his action as you squish spiders. Nadia, you're up.
Brave Sir Robin ran away.
So did Evander pass both of his? Because he was holding his previous move and then had yet another move.
Nope, he's just, if you don't use your held action, it's just wasted, so he just, now up to his current one, and he's just going to hold his action again. Nothing's coming out that seems to be anything he wants to deal with.
Oh yeah, I knew he lost the other one when he did it. I don't know.
I'll see if I can shoot
two
it.
actions in a row.
If you got a short bow, you can.
Miss.
Except when you do that. Evidently, the spider was behind a vase, and you pierced the vase and not the spider.
I never claimed to be a great archer. I can still move though a little bit, so I'm going to move kind of over here.
Okay. From there, you don't have a very good line of sight for that spider. The spider doesn't seem to
That's
be
fine.
moving. I mean, the vase just crushed and it kind of jumped a little bit, but it's checking out the vase. It doesn't see you guys. Thempior is just waiting outside.
Playing Sir Robin as well.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't his place, and Daelon hasn't requested him to go in, so he's just kind of waiting. Daelon, you're up.
What? I can move 30, right?
Correct.
What's the range on the javelin?
It should be in the actions thing when you see like whatever's next to it. It should have in parentheses.
We didn't enter it. So the javelin says it's 30,
Oh, 30/120. What is the one's the maximum? What are the but there's reductions if it's longer. Is that how that works?
35 is your one that's without reduction. The 120 is your maximum.
Right. So what that means is anything over 30 feet, you roll with disadvantage.
Okay. And he's 55, so if I move 25 ahead, that's within my range, and he should be 30 at that point. So I'm going to move closer and throw a javelin.
Okay. Yep, he's right at your range of 30 feet. All right. You had a very clear shot after Nadia cleaned away the dead plant that was hiding him in the vase. All right. You have pierced the spider into a nice cedar table kind of in the back there. But the spider's dead.
And the table's dropped in price by 10 gold.
Probably.
No, now you get to sell it as if it's distressed wood.
All right, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Bogner, Tertius, please each of you roll me initiative. And we'll just maintain these initiative rolls for the rest of this encounter.
Oh, do my quick bars not save? I have to reset them up.
I thought they should have, but maybe they don't because you've got a demo.
Mine kept it.
Yeah, so I'm surprised it didn't.
What's an initiative roll?
Yeah, on your main tab of your character sheet, there's INIT kind of in the middle. You'll drag that to your chat bar.
No initiative for you, Wagner.
He's out of
Nope.
breath.
I dragged it, but it's not doing anything. What am I doing wrong?
Hey Jim, while I was traveling here, I'm gonna go ahead and attune that brooch until we decide as a party what we're gonna do with it.
You said you're going to pin it and attune to it.
Yeah, and then once we get to a point where I can explain it, then we'll decide if we're gonna hand it up to someone else.
Okay. So we'll just remember that you have force, damage resistance, and immunity to magic missiles.
How do I do my initiative roll? I feel like I'm doing something wrong
Okay,
here.
so on your main
So from
page,
the main page.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
on your main page, you see AC, INIT, and speed. Underneath INIT,
Right.
there's that 0 with a little die. Left click and hold and drag that die. A die should pop up in your cursor and drop that into the chat window.
Yeah, that's what I did. Oh, there we go. Wow.
And you have even less initiative than Wagner.
You guys have definitely been riding hell bent to get
We were
here.
weary from our travels.
You've been hoofing it. You didn't realize you needed to have any initiative.
They're not lazy. They just rolled ones. Okay. All right.
So,
yeah.
So we're not able to move up at this point.
Yeah, you've just arrived. So at this moment, you look around, and I'm going to say you don't see anything, so I will take you guys out of combat, and you can move your tokens freely. Since Evander looks back and he sees Bogner and Tertius, and he's like, "Oh, hey, good timing. We're about ready to go inside."
Well, since we're both inside already, that's a little misnomer, but hey.
So I asked him for a quick rundown of what's happened so far.
Do we want to do that in here, or do you want to go back out, Daelon?
I can come back out to the door and.
Is it dark in here, by the way?
Well, it's some daylight's coming in through the windows, but as you get further into the building, there's less and less light. For those of you with dark vision, no problem seeing. But for some of the others, I would say it's dim light because it's day. It's not dark. It's just
Who doesn't have dark vision?
Evander doesn't, I believe. And Tertius doesn't.
Okay.
Oh, for some reason I thought Tertius would. All right, I'll come back out towards the door and invite everybody to come inside and give Bogner and Tertius the rundown on what's going on.
Am I still outside of the wall?
Yeah, but you can move your token. You just grab your token and drag it to where you want it to be.
Yeah, I just put you there to show that you have arrived.
Ah, okay, cool.
But yeah, this was my grandfather's home. I was here when I was a child, but I haven't been here much or lately. And I'm now curious what happened to them, because it looks like something suspicious did, especially with all the spiders moving in this quickly. And it might be a nice base if we can somehow establish that I own it. So it might be useful to find some information on that.
Did you even really remember that you'd been here? Or was that something that you've kind of been
He has a
remembering
vague-
as we go?
Yeah, he has a vague. Once he reached the estate, he had a vague recollection that he had been here as a child.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's kind of what I was trying to summarize, although that was a better summary.
Okay.
So we might as well explore through the place. I don't have any specific attachment, and I'm not too worried about hiding anything. So we might as well stay together in case there are other surprises. But I have no issues with the party looking. I'm not sure how much I'd want Thempior looking around.
And
So I'll kind of try to.
I was going to say, Thempior actually offers to stay outside now that 2 more of your compatriots have joined that you're aware, and he's not one to come into the property unless asked, so he'll stay outside.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because you brought him in as much to give us an additional person if we needed him more than anything.
Correct. So you don't really need it. So he
So-
just says, "All right, I'll keep watch out here for some of the little guys."
Yeah,
Spiders.
and I'll have him keep watch for them, and don't let people wander in here to get hurt if they get impatient about what we're doing in here.
Okay, I'm going to remove him from the combat tracker.
So Jim, I know that we have.
Before we start moving on, I'll go ahead and describe the stuff that I ID'd.
Sure.
So basically, I point to a brooch that I'm currently wearing and say it provides protection against force damage. So is that like kind of like blunt weapon damage? Is that what that means, Jim?
No, it's a type of damage like fire, cold, lightning.
Magic.
There's force. Like falling damage would be force.
Okay, so I'll describe it as kind of something like that.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
And the wizard that I talked to said it also provides immunity to magic missile spells. And then the other item was a globe that we can use to provide light.
It looks like this.
Ooh, fancy.
With all of us having dark vision, I wonder if Evander should carry that with him. Although I'm not sure we want.
Tertius doesn't.
We'd want to. Oh, that's right. Wait,
Yeah, I have my flame.
So what is Tertius?
What's your class?
He's a druid.
Oh yeah, I'm a druid.
Well, what rate?
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn, yeah.
I thought Dragonborn did have night vision.
They do not.
But you're using your dancing lights or something like that, right?
Yeah, that produce flame. Dancing lights.
All right, give me a second. I need to manage children again.
Well, I don't need the brooch. I'm perfectly fine with Bogner hanging on to it. Jim, I was going to ask you, and I guess we can wait until Jeff gets back, but in our party sheet, we currently have like what we've found so far on this mission, which is 15 gold, 85 silver, and we have a scrap of cloth that has Dib's Fortress design notes.
Yep, and some shiny rocks.
So that's still relevant. And we have shiny rocks.
Probably not. So if you weren't going to do anything with either, none of them are of any value.
I would just let's get rid of those things and
done.
Okay.
So I'd say let Bogner go ahead and keep hold of the brooch as far as I can, unless Daelon wants to fight him for it.
No, that's fine. He can have.
Okay.
And then
Those
what about the
brooches
globe?
have charges, right? I would give the
There's
globe
nothing in
to
the
somebody without dark
description.
vision.
There's nothing in the description of either one of them having charges or anything like that. But globe says that basically will provide light. You can. There's a command that you can use to make it hover like up to 5 feet off the floor, and if you move away from it, it will follow you and stay within 60 feet of you.
It sounds kind of like an ion stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar. It's
Now
also
the
an
only
orb,
one
so
that
it
can barely hear Bogner.
What was that?
He's having
Oh, I'm having a
difficulty
hard
hearing.
time hearing Bogner.
Yeah, I always have difficulty hearing Bogner, but he was talking about the globe. The globe is, it will kind of hover around you and follow you around, casting light if you wish it to.
Yeah. It will also cast daylight, which is a very, very bright light, but it can only do that once every day.
Is that like once a long rest, or is
No,
that
once
something
until the
different?
It
next
says until next dawn.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would give it to Tertius. Just it will help with the lack of dark vision, and it's a similar type of stuff to other things he can do anyway.
Yeah,
But
that
if
way
you
he
just
doesn't have to be
answer-
constantly producing flame.
Right.
Okay. So Kevin, just
Thank you.
drag
Agreed.
the inventory into the party sheet inventory. The party sheet is the eye with the 3 silhouettes standing shoulder to shoulder. There you go. Tertius, you'll want to go into that same party sheet inventory, and then you can click and drag the shield for the drift globe and bring it over into your inventory port of your character sheet.
Cool.
All right.
So now that's not something that needs to be attuned, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So now you pull it out. Bogner told you the command word. It can be whatever you want it to be. And you have light in here.
It's like
So
a
Jim, now that I'm wearing the brooch, do I just remove the location bag of holding and that'll take it out of it?
So what I would do is, so where it says bag of holding, I would just say, yeah, you can either delete that or you could say worn, doesn't matter. Right, so now you can see that it's there. Oh, just to let you guys know, a little reminder, whenever you hit enter while you're in your inventory, it will create a new inventory line. So if you're like me, eventually you'll realize that you have like 20 blank lines in your inventory. That's why. So you don't always have to hit enter. All right, and as we go, I'll eventually create an action tab under items for your brooch, Bogner, and then we can apply an effect to you that will keep track of your resistance. Okay, sounds like everybody's caught up.
Oh, and I also tell them what the cost was of everything identified.
Oh, yeah. We can. I'd say we can just pay him from the party fund. Have the party pay for identifying it.
Okay, well, you guys can figure that out later.
Although
Yep.
we don't have a party. The party fund doesn't have a ton of money in it anymore because we've divided it up, haven't we?
Yeah, but we can go through this, and then once we figure out what we get
Right.
out of this, if anything, then we'll just give him from our other slush funds.
That worked. All right. I'm gonna open the door to the south, and I'll tell people that I'm doing it before just going and doing it.
You sure you want to be the one doing it? That's okay. I don't mind. You can lead the way. How high is the ceiling?
Actually, in this entry room, the ceiling looks to be about 18 feet high.
All right. Well, I'll wait right now. I don't need to run up to the ceiling. I'll wait behind him again, bow cocked, ready to go.
Okay. This looks like a not a den, but you know those like library sitting rooms, kind of a reading room, but without the fireplace.
So it's the place you retire after dinner with cigars and brandy.
No, this is where you would have people wait until the master of the estate can see them.
Okay.
You don't see
There's
any
probably
webs in
not going to be
here.
a lot of.
Yeah, this room was
Yeah,
closed.
there's probably not going to be anything important in here, but take a quick glance around. And
Yeah.
is
you
there
take a quick glance.
anything that looks?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. No, nothing really.
Okay. We'll
There was
try
one
the
one
door to the
book
door.
in Elvish, and it seemed to be some cheap dalliance novel.
Okay. We'll try the door to the north then.
This room is actually the room where you would expect people to come and sit and talk um, after dinner. You got a fireplace, a small table, some chairs, a couple couches.
So neither of these rooms have other exits from them. Is that how? Like, there's not another. It's a low res map, so I can't
I
tell.
know.
Oh, that's a door too. Okay.
And I'll uncover.
Okay. Did the other room have any exits from it?
Did the other what?
The first room I went into, were there any exits from that one?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we'll wander in this room first, and we'll try the doors from here. Take a glance around, and then try the doors if we don't see anything.
Okay. There's a decanter of some brown fluid. You suspect it's some kind of spirits on the table over here. The fireplace is cold. Um, Everything's ash inside. So you don't really see anything there.
I need to get a decanter. I can have on display with something in it. All right, we'll try this door to the north first.
So we can just freely move as much as we want in the house.
Right now, until he locks tokens, yeah.
Right, because you're out of combat, so we're not really worried about it. So this is another room, kind of a side room. Seems to be like it could be, like it could have been a library at one time, but really doesn't seem to have a lot of use at the moment.
What's that in the northwest corner?
Chair and table. Oh, the northwest?
Okay.
No, in the northwest, that's a spiral staircase
Going up or down?
going up.
Let's open up more of the ground floor before we head up or down.
Do we hear anything coming from the staircase, or is there any sounds that we might need to be aware of?
Nope, it's very quiet.
Okay.
Not eerily
I'll just
quiet,
follow
it's
Clanky
just
then.
Okay.
All right, we'll do this door first.
And this opens up into the main hall that you already were in.
All right, I'm not gonna head out there yet, and we'll try this door.
So when you open this door, I need you to roll me a history or let me see. History or insight, either one. When you open up this door, you get a strong memory as a child that this was where your grandfather had his office, and this is indeed an office. That's a very large, uh, opulent wood carved desk. It's got the fireplace. You've got some um, locked um, armoire slash shelves in different places around the room. This is where your grandfather um, always would shoo you from because he was working in here. You suspect that if there's a deed in the house, this may be one of the rooms where it would be.
All right, I will tell everybody that and just say, everyone, let's spread out and search and see if we can find anything important in here.
Okie doke. We'll start my searching.
Likewise, and I guess I also asked the question of what do you want us to do if we find something locked?
If we find something locked, we'll wait for a little while to see if we find a key here or elsewhere. We'll just keep in mind that it was here.
Okay, well then everybody give me an investigation roll as you look around the room attempting to find something.
How do I do that one?
Go to your skills tab on your character sheet, and on the right side, everything's in alphabetical order, and on the right side of where it says investigation, there's hopefully a plus number. Left click and hold that plus number and drag it into the chat window. All right. Tertius happens to notice that there's a depression in the desk as he's looking around this room, kind of admiring the wood and being a druid, he likes woodcraft. This actually looks like a desk that was done through some kind of elvish magical woodcraft versus true carving, and happen to find an indentation that pops up in a small drawer with a scroll inside.
I'm going to open the scroll.
All right. It's just got a ribbon. You undo the ribbon and unroll it. Do you read Elvish?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me check. Where's that at?
Abilities at the bottom.
Who else? I'm gonna ask the group who else speaks Elvish.
Daelon and I both do.
Okay, I'll pass the scroll to Daelon. He can read it for us.
And I will.
Okay, this is a very fine scroll, and as you read it, it basically says the bearer of this deed shows proof of ownership to the manor located on 50 acres of property in this location, blah, blah, blah. Legal fine print documenting the boundaries of the property, etc., etc. Give me no. I think it's probably easily seen. There's a handwritten footnote that has been signed by you assume your
Hold on a
grandfather.
sec. Hold on.
Okay.
Jim, hold on a sec.
Oh, yeah, another two.
So we know Jerry's drinking some whiskey. Eric, what did you say you were drinking?
You said wild turkey earlier.
Ah, that's right. I am drinking a Saint Bonifacius, who's the patron saint of beers. That's one of my remaining beers under my German beer advent calendar.
That's a good one. I've had that one before.
Yeah, they've all been pretty good. Even the Pilsners I enjoyed.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. I think Jeff had to take a step away as well, so will be returning. What's everybody's passive perception? It's just the PERC number in your main character sheet.
Mine's 15.
15.
All right, I'm back.
11.
Benjamin's been sick.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Probably the flu. That's what seems to be going around. At least that's what Stacy's saying.
Yeah. It's something. This one. It's this third time he's been sick. It's in 4 weeks, I think. Third different thing, at least.
Not awesome. Sorry to hear that.
All right, I'm back for now.
Okay. As I was saying, you were reading the scroll. It is the deed to the bearer of this deed, and there's a footnote at the bottom that's handwritten. Looks to be signed by, you're guessing your grandfather, because the last name is Silvestari, and there's a notary witness also there. And the bottom of the deed basically says that proof of a family heir is shown through the family tattoo. And the notary witness is just a name of somebody. You don't know who they are, but they're probably somewhere in the community.
All right, cool. This ought to end that auction that they're discussing out front.
Okay. The scroll is
So
in the party inventory, so if you want to pull that into your personal inventory, you can do so.
Okay.
Fries. Too much garlic? Oh, I mean they're.
Do I need to make an extra inventory line before
I've been here. You're right. We just.
It had a 30-minute timer. Jared's like, no, there was no timer. It didn't beep. And so I ran it for 2 minutes, and it does like a little da-da-da-da. And he's like,
Well,
I don't think you need to do. I think that was you just pull that to your inventory, I believe.
so this is how they taste after an hour and 20
Just a
minutes.
physical pull.
they're.
Yeah, it's
Chip
like
fries.
dragging a 1 over here, but it doesn't
They're
actually
your favorite.
seem to change my inventory.
Yay! You want to bring me some more?
Oh, Jimmy, does he need to add a line?
Hey Jeff, just grab that little dark circle to the right.
Notifications now saying,
I was just able
"Get
to do
your
it.
ass up."
Does it really say that?
No.
That'd be awesome if it did.
All right, yeah, that did it.
All right, bye. Sorry, everybody out there.
All right.
Sorry for me chewing in your ear. I will stop that.
So what else have we found in this room? Anything else, or is that the extent of what we've discovered?
In here, yeah, the rest seem to be books, some financial documents that seem to outline maybe general potential incomes from the estate, potential people that have been working the estate, not as servants, but paid employees, if you will, for different things. The general, quick, very brief understanding that you can have perusing these documents is that this is a fairly decent estate. I mean, it's 50 acres in size. It's got game. It's got not a full-blown fishery, but a large pond. It seems to have some kind of minerals. So there's definitely an income here, if you will. But any more detailed understanding would take you, the better part of several days to try to really better understand what all these documents mean.
The elf up front wasn't named Alfred, was he?
No, he was Alfred.
Huh.
No, I'm just
Could
kidding.
always hire him to be the butler.
All right.
All right.
So are we going to continue looking around, or are you going to go out and lay claim to your estate?
Let's at least clear out, make sure there aren't any more spiders infesting the ground floor.
Okie dokie.
So we'll
There's a
open-
window just beyond as you now have stopped looking, you've looked about the room. You can see that there seems to be an open atrium with a little bit of water just in the interior of the building.
Wow, this place is fancy.
All right, which door here? Both?
The top, yeah, both of them. At least until we find something that causes us to stop opening doors.
Two little closet rooms. Nothing fancy.
So do I need to go into the one on top to open that last bit up, or is that a void?
There's a door on the other side.
Okay.
And when you open that up, Yeah, it's like just it's a commode. It's a bathroom.
So is that a void between or in the middle?
Yeah, it looks like it's surrounded by walls. Yeah.
Are you saying that there's still some fog of war in there?
Yep. I assume he's talking about this area here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fog of war there. That's all walls. Walls on all four sides, as far as you know.
Do
Okay.
we check for a secret door? Could also be between the upper and lower floors, but
Yeah, I mean, you gonna show me where you're checking and then give me an investigation check?
we'll check out here first on this side.
Well, I'll allow your check to cover both sides that are out here.
Oh,
You want us to all do that or just him?
If you're checking, you can give me a roll.
Well, I'm not checking very well.
So neither of you find anything. Evander couldn't find. This isn't his forte, so he doesn't even bother. Okay.
we'll check from the commode.
I'll just follow him around and check behind him.
Sure. If we want to speed it along, I assume you'll check in the next room. So each of you can give me a third set of rolls.
Oh, we should do a third one?
Assuming you're going to go into the little storage room number 14 and check there as well.
Yep, I check.
So I should do 3 total here then.
Yeah. Okay. No, you don't find anything.
All right, I'm not going to worry about it for now. It's a area for the central AC to send pipes between the upper and lower floors. All right, we'll open these 2 doors to the south.
Okay. This is like a working room, if you will, kind of more of a formal meeting area attached to the formal, I call working den.
Are those more stairs down or up?
Those stairs are going up.
Okay. Yeah, we'll open this one.
Okay. Oh, well, I'll just say Bogner cracked the door open and peeked. It's a short hallway. You open this one, and it opens up to an atrium. And I'm assuming you'll step out just a little bit.
Sure.
You see what looks like a spring and some plants. This is kind of like a flat rock. You're not sure if it's just there as art or if it's there as a place to meditate. To the south here are a couple trees and some bushes, but you also notice that the spider webs that you were seeing in the entryway seem to be most heavily clustered around these trees and bushes.
Yeah, we might have some more spiders to kill out here.
Is it open aired?
It is open to the sky.
Alright, I'm gonna clank down towards the spider webs.
Yeah, before you do that, I'm going to tell you to stop, and I'm just going to shoot an arrow into the thick foliage and webbing.
Okay.
All right. I guess roll me an attack. Attack the darkness.
Well, I'm just hoping, I mean, spiders don't like their little nests being messed with. I'm going to see if I can mess with it.
Sure. Wow. Yeah. Sure. You shoot into the thick of the webbing, and you definitely adjusted it, and but nothing seems to pounce.
All right, I'm going to hold my bow at ready, and I'll let Daelon go stomping through his water and towards the foliage.
Okay. You get to. I'll back you up to here. I'll say, and that's when you start coming to the edge of the webbing, and your feet, start tugging and doing that, um, more consistent movement, um, which is what would really trigger a spider to appear. So he does climb out, and this is a giant spider. Compared to the other one that was like a cat, this one's really the size of a calf.
It could be worse, it could be a horse.
Yeah, it is large. All right.
Alright.
Sure, everybody give me initiative rolls. All right. Top of the round. Nadia. You see it.
Yeah, since I already have the bow ready, I'm going to try to
Target and shoot.
shoot this guy. How far am I?
Target him, and it'll automatically tell you how far away you are.
So I'm 40, so no problem. I can target him from here. Missed him. I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to climb up, and I'm going to kind of do my little show-off trick and stand on the wall.
All right. It's not nearly as impressive since everybody here in the group has seen you do it before. But
Yeah, it's mostly just to be out of the way of everybody else doing anything.
But it is still kind of cool. All right, done?
Yeah, I'll just do that.
All right, Evander comes out, and he basically says, "Holy shit, That is one big ass spider. And
I figured he would have screamed a lol and gone running.
this time he will shoot. So he brings up his hand crossbow. He lets one go.
Brave Sir Evander.
Ah, he hits. Pierces it for a couple points of damage anyway. Little spider shuffles out from a bush on the ground. It comes up to Daelon, attempts to bite you. And it does not. Alright, Daelon.
So am I able to engage? Am I able to engage the giant spider without drawing an attack of opportunity from Spider 4?
As long as you stay within a 5-foot melee range as you move around that Spider 4, yes.
Alright. I'll just come down here. I assume that's close enough to attack.
Yep, you're still within 5 feet, and I think you're within 5 feet of the giant spider. I mean, it's above you, but you can still swing at it.
Okay. And I'll use my soiled longsword. Damn it.
As you try to swing through, you catch some of the heavier webbing, and it pulls your sword stroke kind of just slightly to the side. But on the plus side, you've cleared out that webbing, hopefully for the next sword stroke. Anything else?
No, I'll have to pull that back up.
What's the range on my breath weapon?
I believe that's a
The
15-foot
draconic
cone.
ability.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot cone. So to do a cone, you would hold left and right mouse buttons together and hold the Alt key down and then drag, just like I did, and you'll see a cone. And so that's a 15-foot cone.
Whoa, hold left and right mouse buttons and then the Alt key?
And the Alt key, and then drag on the map. And then Shift and Control will give you, a square and a circle. So that shows you.
So if I moved right up to these guys, I could hit both?
Yeah, and Daelon.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm going to assume that you're smart enough to recognize that, so. Now, if you want, you can hold your action and wait for another opportunity of something, or however.
Does it matter if I walk through the water, like it's not deep?
No, it's not deep.
Or do I not? Okay. I'm going to move there, and then I'm going to use Produce Flame on the small spider.
Okay, target the small spider. So you're going to left click on yourself, control left click on the small spider. There you go. And now you can do your rolls from Produce Flame in the chat window. So you'll do your attack, which is left click and hold the little, okay. So under your actions tab, there's a magnifying glass next to Produce Flame. Click on that. and it will open up cast attack save. You'll left click and hold the sword button next to attack and drag that into your chat window, and that will roll the attack for your produce flame. You hit. Now you left click and hold the little red teardrop for damage and pull that over into the chat window and roll damage. All right. So
Flambe of spider.
Vroom. And you clear away a good portion of webs as well behind Daelon. In fact, the extra lighting due to that shows that there's actually another spider, another giant spider in the other tree.
Goody.
Bogner, you're up.
I'll move up to there, and then if I can't do anything else, I'll just go ahead and hold.
Why wouldn't you be able to attack?
I don't really feel like going arranged into a bunch of webs.
Okay, so you're gonna hold your attack in case
Oh, because
something
it's
comes down.
because it's in the tree, is what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's as far as I can move.
Okay, you can also remember as an action, you guys can dash, dodge. A dash basically means you're going to take your movement again and use your action to also move. So you can move another 25 feet or less than that if you wish to move into melee range. Or you can...
I wouldn't attack then if I did that, right?
Correct, that your action would be to do the extra movement. Basically, you'd be using your action to sprint, basically, or dash. Or you can just hold your action and hope that something comes down next to you.
Yeah, I'll just hold where I'm at. That's fine.
All right. All right. Spider 1. He's going to lower himself down, and he's going to try to bite Daelon, who's attacking his web. And he misses. But you can definitely, he didn't really miss you. He clamped down on your shoulder armor, and you felt the bite, but it didn't penetrate your armor.
I'm happy with that.
This spider just moves up in the webbing and also targets you, Daelon, since you're closest. Oh, but he hits. Oh, and he hits you pretty hard.
You still have more health than me.
And he rolls, let's see, you fail your saving throw against the poison. I'm just going to roll 1d8. And you take 7 points of poison damage. So that hurt. That hurt a lot.
You know, this is the third attack in a row I have not been able to use Divine Smite, but I plan to use it because, first of all, I missed with a 1, probably for the second of those times. And, yeah, my next round, I'm not going to be doing an attack, I don't think.
You may not. All right, that's that spider. All right, Nadia. There are 2 big spiders, and Daelon doesn't. Daelon got bit by one. It did not seem pretty.
He's still standing though.
He's still standing.
I think that's a song.
And I'm gonna go ahead and try to attack with my bow again on this first spider that we saw, the first giant spider.
All right. So at this point, you're starting to get into the webs. So it's going to be difficult terrain.
Yeah, but I've got
further in.
Why? I've got my slippers. I can walk on those, can't I?
No, they're, well, maybe. I'll have to look. I know you can walk on walls and not slick surfaces, but I don't know if they give you the ability to walk on spider webs themselves. Yeah, no, it just says
Well, that's okay.
surfaces. I would say spider webs are kind of a stickiness different.
Well, from here I'm going to go ahead and I'll try to hit it with the bow again. And I missed.
All right, gonna move any further, or are you done?
Done for that round.
All right. Seeing your obvious pain, Evander is going to cast Cure Wounds on you, Daelon.
Okay. I'm happy with it.
So he helps you out a little bit. And he moves up about 10 more feet. Actually, he has to move up right next to you to cast that. There we go. It's your turn. You just felt a little healing hand from him.
I'm gonna do lay on hands on myself and heal all 10 that I can heal. So what's the best? How do I do that?
The best way is just click on the two little dots next to your lay on hands to show that you've used the 2 pools of 5 points.
Okay.
And then we will give you 10 points of healing. Is that an action to do lay on hands? I think it is, isn't it?
I think it is. Let me check again. Huh. It's not.
Yep.
It's not giving me the information.
It's under your abilities. I probably didn't pull it over into your actions tab for you, but your abilities say it's an action. You can touch a creature and drop power to heal or remove disease and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I thought it was an action.
You can attempt to move, but may not be a good idea with these 2 spiders right there.
Right. Yeah, they'll attack me anyway, so I'll just wait.
All right, Tertius.
All right, I'm gonna move up a little bit. And then I'm gonna cast Produce Flame at the wounded giant spider.
Okay, so target giant spider 1. Again, left click on yourself. Control left click on giant spider 1. You hit. Throw some damage on it. Very nice.
So does he clear out the webbing that may have impeded me?
I'll say you've got a 85% chance that that occurred.
Okay.
And when I roll, it says 4. So, yep, it cleared out. You've got a free path along that wall.
And singed eyebrows.
Maybe. All right, are you done, Tertius? All right, Bogner. You are now capable of stepping up and lending a hammer.
So you had said that someone had kind of cleared out the webs to Daelin's left a little bit. Is that clear to the spider too, or not?
Yes, there. The ground webbing where you would be wading through has been cleared out based on the first produced flame that Tertius cast. So you'd be able to step right up to be able to melee spider 2. And it's only rough terrain, so it'd be double. It would take double your movement to get through it. 10 feet for every 5. You would still have more than enough movement to get up that far. But evidently, this tree also has its own webbing that seems to throw your hammerhead wide.
We've been somebody cast a roll poorly curse on us.
Not me. This one actually spits out some webbing at you, Daelon, and it shoots over your head and lands up against the area on the ground where Bogner was.
I wanted it to hit Erlander. I mean, Evander. I shouldn't give you ideas.
You shouldn't, because I just rolled for that. So Giant Spider tried to shoot its webbing at Daelon. It missed. Happened to miss Evander as well and landed harmlessly in the spring. Nadia, you're up.
just see Evander. Ah! All right, so Mr. Spider, since this is all cleared around him, I'm going to flank him. And I am going to go ahead and attack once with the quarterstaff, once with my unarmed.
I will give you advantage to your first attack due to the flank.
Okie doke.
Oh, that hits.
What does advantage do?
Advantage allows you to roll 2 times, and it'll take the higher result. Disadvantage makes you roll 2 times and forces you to take the lower result.
So I should have probably gone somewhere and indicated I had advantage, huh?
In the lower left, next to your die, there's ADV. That's advantage. DIS is disadvantage. And then if I ask you to do modifiers, you would do your modifiers down there. But you're fine. You hit. So you're
Well,
good.
I hit.
Roll your damage. Whack. Very nice.
Then I'm going to do an unarmed attack.
And you miss.
But I'm going to do a flurry of blows.
All right. Spend a key point for another attack, unarmed attack with his bonus attack that he's using here. Crits. Very nice. Oh, and the spider dies. Its abdomen splits open from behind, and it just kind of slumps and then rolls over and falls out of the tree.
How did he attack 3 times?
As a monk, he gets a normal attack. He has a martial ability, which if he uses a melee attack with a monk weapon or unarmed, he, as a bonus action, can get a melee unarmed attack. He has a key ability at 2nd level that if he spends a key point, he can turn that bonus action attack into 2 attacks.
Oh, nice. That's pretty sweet.
All right, and that's probably all. You can move a little bit more if you wanted. That's probably about it.
I'm good.
All right. Evander, seeing that you're back up and doing well. He's actually gonna look up and he's gonna shout at the spider. You stupid spider! You almost got your webbing on my fine clothes. And the giant
He
spider
tried to taunt him.
fails the vicious mockery. Takes some mental damage. And has disadvantage to its next attack.
He mocked a spider.
Daelon, you're up.
I need to toss this fancy longsword. It's useless.
Your overpriced fancy longsword.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It looks so good, though.
It does look marvelous. It's a mantelpiece longsword. It's beautiful.
And it's staying clean.
So pristine.
No, it is now. I got spider guts all over it once, and thinking maybe it was okay, but I don't think that. I think I've hit once of all the attacks I've made with it.
Yeah, just the tip is got some spider ichor on it. All right, if you're done, go ahead and end your or complete your turn. Tertius, you got one big nasty dude left.
How long can I move? 20 feet?
30. Your speed is 30.
I'm going to get behind him and then I'm going to attack him with Produce Flame again. Although, does that have any danger of hitting Bogner?
Produce flame? No.
Okay, cool.
Could it ignite the webs and engulf everybody? No. Oh, nice. Roll your damage. Very nice. This druid knows his stuff. All right, Wagner. All right. Wagner, you get an opportunity attack against spider number 2 because he turns and he moves towards the druid that just flamed him in the backside.
So just roll the same way again.
Yep, just roll another attack at him. That hits. Lay some damage on him. All right. All right. Spider turns and he's coming to attack.
Wouldn't Daelon get the same? He was within that same range, wasn't he?
Slightly closer. Not quite out of range yet.
Okay.
So he comes to attack Tertius. And he misses. Which is good, because the 8 that it dropped would have hit you.
Yeah, and I have only 10 hit points.
Right. All right, Nadia. I'm going to say that Well, you could probably get on. You can walk around the corner, and you'd be standing on the wall above Tertius and be able to get to this spider if you so
I'm
choose.
actually gonna drop to the. I'm gonna drop to the ground and get behind it and attack with my quarterstaff.
Okay. I'll say that you have more than enough room. You don't have to drop. You can just run down the wall and across the ground, and you're underneath it.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Very nice. And good. And so you bring it down.
Apparently my archery sucks, so I just need to get in melee range.
Okay. So you look around. You clear up some webbing. The only thing that you find in here is a curious. It's not really an egg, but it looks like it was a magic artifact that may have been planted here or dropped here, which may be the rationale as to why the spiders suddenly appeared. So these seem to have been left here intentionally, if you will.
These? Oh, is there more than one?
No. Uh, for brevity, I'll say that you guys look around the rest of the manor, and you're able to look through the remainder of the upper floors. You see other bedrooms. You don't see any other spiders. It looks like this is where everything occurred. You do eventually find in the dining area, which is adjacent to this area, here in room 11, you do find some blood stains on the dining table and on the floor, and you find out from the populaces that's where the bodies were found. So
Okay.
I'll kind of, rather than have you guys walk through the rest of the house, we can open up that later. The rest of the house.
I was just going to ask: do we know what? Do we have any idea what those things are? Have we been able to? Were we able to tell? Or
The spiders.
the artifact?
Yeah.
The thing that you said drew this.
It's got some spider symbols on it and some webbing, and so it looks like, as far as you can guess, that either the spiders were hatched from there or they were released from there. So it looks like some kind of magical artifact that held the spiders.
Do we want to pick it up and get it out of here, or take it somewhere? Or?
It's dead. It's inert.
Okay.
It's already been
It's
used.
dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you would have hit.
Yeah, finally.
Well, if he can't hit a dead spider, we've got an even worse problem.
Right. So you go back outside and you show the person the deed, and the person says, "Well, how do I know? How do I know you are who you say you are?" And what do you do?
I show him the tattoo.
On the back of your neck, and you're like, "Oh, because of this."
Yeah.
And the guy says, "Well, I don't know if that's the right tattoo. Let me see your deed."
All right. We let him read the deed.
Okay. He looks at it, and he recognizes the signature, and he says, "All right, I'm going to go talk to this man who notarized this addition and see if I can bring him here. So don't go anywhere." And he kind of looks over at Thumpier and he says, "I think we're okay, but keep your eye on these guys." And he rides off. You at this point, you kind of still curiously feel that tugging um, in the distance to the northeast still a little bit.
Like
Northeast
outside the
cat.
manor area?
Yeah, like outside the
Right.
manor area. Maybe 100 yards, you know. So, do you want to go check that out?
Yeah, let's go check that out.
We have to go out the front gate.
Let's tell the elf that that's what we're doing. Let him know that we're not just off running around. We're just going to be around the corner.
Okay. I'm going to move you guys to a new map. So you come across um, what looks like you're not sure if this is a sculpted tomb or not, but it looks like a large um, boulder with some very nice trees and vines around it. But there's um, a double door in that looks to be both stone and wood. Again, it seems to be uh, wizard crafted, if you will. Um, magic crafted. It definitely wasn't chiseled. It opens at your touch. It's not locked, and turns out that this is a small tomb of sorts. And I'll move you guys over to this map. All right. So you come across this small tomb. And the entrance room here has a dried up water fountain. You're not sure if it's working, if it's not working, if there's a mechanism to turn it off or on. You don't see one in here. But you can see a portrait of a few male elves that seem to have a resemblance to Daelon, since Daelon is half elf. You can kind of see the resemblance a little bit. And in the back of the room is a double door.
We want to search this room for any kind of secrets before we try to move forward around the fountain and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we should search.
I'll specifically look at the fountain.
Okay, you guys can roll me investigation checks. There's nothing in the fountain. Wagner's looking at the stone. This is really kind of magically smooth stone. You can't see any chisel marks. Dalen's investigating the back double doors, which open, no problem. They're not locked. You don't see anything else that's special in here. So those doors actually open to a set of stairs that go down.
Did you want to roll an investigation check at all, Eric?
Oh, yes.
Evander doesn't bother with that because he's not good at
He sucks at it.
Yeah, he does. He rarely finds anything when he looks, so he doesn't bother.
Well, doesn't look like we found anything with our rolls.
No.
So is this pretty smooth stonework? I mean, I could solid.
Yeah, it looks like it was magically carved or smoothed or polished. You don't see any chisel marks. You don't see any seams. Um, it's beautiful work. If you ask Bogner, he would tell you so. But it's not dwarven craftsmanship, you know.
Well, this is your party, Daelon. I'll follow your lead. We can continue down if that's what you think we need to do.
How do I re? How do I re-display the maps?
You can double click on your upper right picture of your character sheet. You can also double click on your portrait in the combat tracker. Or I can just share it with
That
you
does the
if you want
map
to do.
itself.
So what that does, it will pop up the map that your combat token is present on.
Okay. Yeah, I had resized the map past the bottom of my visible screen, so I couldn't actually make the map smaller anymore. So that was rather annoying, so I just closed it. Okay, so I'm caught back up. Are these stairs up or down? Or does it
They are down.
not that it matters
Definitely
much?
down, because
Okay.
this room kind of, if you will, this room takes up the bulk of that boulder, mossy boulder framed by trees.
Right.
Down, down to Goblin Town.
So as you come into this room, this is an altar room, and in fact, your tattoo pulls you specifically to this altar. It has your family crest upon it, which looks very similar to your tattoo. And let me bring that up here. Right, so you'll remember that your tattoo said your family name on top, and at the bottom it says, "We pray at Homestead's altar."
All right. So I will go up to the altar and pray. I'll try praying both to my God and generically.
Okay. So your god is Maliki, and so you pray to Maliki, but your general prayer to the family seems to provide you with some visions. Um, and the general recollection you get from these visions is that you have three tasks. The first task is to um, lead your family homestead. So you have a vision of overseeing your ancestral home, which is the estate that you've come to. The second one seems to be that you need to right a wrong that's been done um, by your family. Something that your family, and the vision shows your father casting somebody out, but it doesn't show you who. And not your grandfather, but your father. And the third gives you a feeling that you need to achieve some sort of vengeance or justice, um, to right a wrong that's been done to your family. And the vision here is of your grandparents being, looks like they were tortured in your vision before they were killed. And when you complete this prayer, which takes probably about 15 minutes, I mean, the rest of you seem to be a little worried for a moment, but he doesn't seem to be under a spell. He just seems to be still while you guys look around. There's a passageway which leads further down and in. As Nadia kind of looked down, it looks like they would be possibly the beginning of some catacombs. But I'll say out of respect that you don't venture down there just yet, unless you decide you want to.
Nope, just wandering around.
Okay. And Daelon, when you finally come to, the visions release you, you get this sense that you could you have some extra ability about a mount of some kind. Like you think you could call out for a horse or a riding steed or something. You're not sure.
So I know my kingdom for a horse needed, hopefully.
When he said steed, that's all I could think of was Noble Steed from Shrek.
Right.
Your Noble Steed.
I'll name it Nadia.
So let's see if I can find it. I had a cool picture for you.
Or maybe maybe his name will already be Shadowfax.
Well, do you want to continue down now, or do you want to go back? I mean, I don't know how long that guy was going to be gone. You've kind of, I'm assuming the tugging is gone from you.
I don't think the catacombs would be very big, but it might be worth checking him out quickly. If there's something to fight down there, that's something to fight. If there's not something to fight down there, it should open up pretty quickly.
Right. So what you get is you can see that the your family crest is upon a wall in here, actually behind, to the east, and it seems that the tree outline of your family crest, which matches your tattoo almost identically, the tree has gone from what looked like just an blank inlay in the stone, where that now has a silver sheen. Not bright, but now that you've prayed at the altar, it seems like you've triggered some ancient magic, and the tree now has a shimmer to it. All right, you gonna walk down into the catacombs?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, you guys can move down to the catacombs there. me do something here. Okay. So as you come down into the catacombs, you see more faces next to the walls of some of these barred off little areas. You see on some of these smaller altars behind the bars, like urns. To the bars beyond the northeast, you can see the hints of maybe a table, but from where you are, you can't really see. Tertius, I'm going to assume that you pull out your drift globe so you and Evander can actually see what's
I
going on
do.
down here, because it is pitch black down here without that drift orb. You can see that there's an old crack in the center of the flooring there.
How wide?
And this is a small, just to let you know, Jerry, if you were going to be walking on the ceiling in here, we're probably talking 6.5-foot ceilings. So walking on the ceiling would basically put your head inches off the ground, just as if you're walking on the ground with your inches ahead, inches from the ceiling. So you can walk upside down if you choose, but your choice.
I was going to ask, but I don't need to if I'm going to be there. It's not giving me any tactical advantage.
Right.
All right. Is that crack also on the ceiling, or is it just on the floor?
Nope, just on the floor. Seems to open up down underneath. Give me a perception check, Daelon. Oh, excellent.
If I have a perception skill, do I do that too when he does his, or is it just because he's leading the party?
Just because he's leading and he's right next to the crack. In the crack, it has not seen you yet, but you see a large millipede, centipede creature that's just lying in the crack. Just kind of lying there at the moment.
Well, outside of hovering my mouse over the creature, can I identify what it is?
Sorry, Stacy was hollering at me. What did you say you were going to do?
Well, outside of hovering my mouse over the creature, can I identify what it actually is?
Yeah, give me a nature roll. No,
That means I'm average.
you've never really seen this creature. You're not really sure what it is.
All right, but it's big and could be dangerous if left unchecked.
It's large, yeah.
So I think we should
How large?
eliminate
Like the size of a cow, or like bigger?
Like a male walrus. Right?
Speaking of nature checks, maybe is he basically just sitting in there right now?
Yeah, he's just kind of lying along the crack sideways, really.
All right.
He's kind of lying in the crack.
Tell everyone else
down a little bit.
All right. I'll tell everyone else that there's this big thing over here that we probably want to eliminate it. Does anyone else know what it is?
They'd have to move up close to see it.
So I am actually going to walk on the ceiling just to hopefully it doesn't feel any vibration from my footsteps. Nature again?
Yep, nature. Same with you, Tertius.
Nope, I don't know what it is.
So yeah, so since most of your wanderings have been above surface, you're not used to seeing these more cavern-based creatures. Tertius being a druid, yeah, you're a little more well versed in just creatures in general, and yeah, you're aware that this is a carrion crawler, and you find it odd that it's here since you're used to seeing or hearing about these in deeper areas, but maybe this crack leads somewhere. Maybe it doesn't, or at least leads far enough along that this carrion crawler came up.
So we should
But you know
probably
what it
kill
is.
it.
Yeah, let's kill it.
I'm gonna ready my bow.
All right. Um, Everybody roll initiative. Because the carrion crawler, as Tertius moved up and leaned over, um, it rolled a natural 20 on its perception. So I was going to say that Tertius accidentally kicked a couple pebbles over the edge, and it recognized that food is present.
Tertius's food.
I don't taste very good.
Wagner, you get to lead off.
Can I make my way past everyone or not?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm sure you could kind of muscle your way forward and pull Tertius back a little bit if you want to pull him back into the side. Yep, you can get there, no problem. I will lock tokens now. That was only 20 feet of movement, so you're good. It is in melee if you want to reach over the edge. That hits. You do some damage. You don't seem to strike it as effectively as you'd like because it's in a damn crack, but you laid some hammer on it.
How wide's the crack?
Foot and a half to 2 feet, kind of in the middle. 2.5 towards this end, and it gets smaller as you get to this side.
Okay.
All right.
Woohoo! Whatever prayer you did up there at that altar.
I just used the other sword.
The fancy one.
You did! You did!
That's awesome. All right. You gonna lay some divine
Alright,
smite in this
so-
bad boy?
Yeah, I'm gonna lay Divine Smite.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your regular damage associated with the longsword. Your 1d8 slashing. And then click off one of your spell slots, and then... Oh, that's interesting. You got a couple of cantrips. Go ahead and use either one of those divine smites, expand them with the magnifying glass, and then drag the damage for the 2d8 radiant over into the chat window. Very nice.
That was a nice smite. Doesn't say he's wounded.
Oh, but that's some good damage. All right. You done?
Yep.
All right. Evander's going to move up. He can't see whatever's going on. So what is he going to do? He's going to hold his action he's going to move up to here, and he's going to hold his action to heal whoever may get wounded in an attack. So that would be Tertius or Daelon. That's what he's going to do. Nadia, you're up.
First of all, am I able to get within melee range with all these folks in the way?
I'd have to have you give me an acrobatics check, and then as long as Tertius, because Evander won't prevent you, he'll let you get by. He just wants to stay within range to touch Daelon. So you just, as long as Tertius would allow you to move him aside, then you can probably get up there. But you can't pull Tertius back without.
I wasn't going to try. I just wanted to try to get between, like, go between Daelon and Tertius and get into the mix of things if I can. If not, then I have a different question.
All right, I just tried to move Daelon around a little bit. Yeah, I'll say that if Daelon allows himself to be moved, he can be moved just a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Tertius is already right up against the wall.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move, and I'm gonna leap over the crack, and then I'm gonna turn back around and try to attack.
Okay, so I'm gonna say you get here. Give me an acrobatics roll to see if you can make the hop across without cracking your head open. Sure. Boop. Daelon steps back into the area. So yeah, you hop across the crack. As you do so, you see the big worm or centipede down below. I don't know if Tertius, if you told everybody what this thing is. You can probably do so on your turn.
Yes, I will do that.
So Nadia, if you want to reach down and poke it with your quarterstaff, you can do that. You're in melee range.
Quarterstaff, and I'll try an unarmed attack as well.
Okay. Quarterstaff works. And you poke it. The unarmed also hits. And go ahead and target that carrion crawler before you roll damage.
Oh, I keep forgetting to do that.
I've just been dragging the results onto it, so it's not a big deal.
You know me.
Yeah, you're 2 fingers into the whiskey. I know you. Nice.
A little more, but okay.
They were vertical fingers, not horizontal fingers.
Let's hope not. We've got Jerry for another 5 minutes then before it hits him. All right, I'm assuming you're done. All right, Tertius.
Do I know anything else about the carrion crawler?
You know that it's big, it's nasty, it's poisonous, it paralyzes things that it typically bites. It can climb anywhere. It's reasonably quick. I mean, it can climb as fast as it can move, so.
I yell to the group and let them know that it can paralyze and poison, and that it's normally not found in the shallow of a cave.
All right, and what are you going to do since you're next to it?
I'm assuming my cone would hit Nadia.
Oh, yeah.
What I would say is I would give you an athletics check, since this is a physical ability. I'd give you an athletics check to direct it down into the crack, because you're really kind of breathing down into the floor. So if you can give me a successful athletics check, but you're going to breathe whether you pass or fail. Oh, yeah, no problem.
So he's breathing regardless.
He was breathing regardless.
Oh wait, so if I would have missed, I would have just hit him.
Yeah,
No, you'd hit me.
you would have got the carrion
Oh,
crawler.
whoa.
You would have hit Nadia. You might even have hit Bogner.
Oh, oops, I would have just done produce flame. All right.
But that's okay because Evander's ready to heal me.
So I can roll my attack now.
All right, so expand. Go to your actions and expand your breath weapon with the magnifying glass. And after you've got the carrion crawler targeted, so click and drag the save dice. And there's a little die button next to save under breath weapon. It fails its save, so go ahead and click and do the damage for 2d6. Very nice. And then check that little box next to breath weapon to show that you've used it.
I think you should have just produced flame. You did better damage to the spiders.
Oh no, jeez. Wait, did I mark it off correctly?
Yeah, you did. It should have disappeared from your actions list.
Oh, yeah,
It's
okay.
not deleted. It's just not showing until you get a rest. All right.
Cool.
Are you gonna attempt to move, or are you gonna stay?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'll stay actually.
All right. The carrion crawler. I just rolled randomly, and it's going to come up and it's going to try to take a bite out of Bogner. Oh, and it hits.
Didn't try to hit me. Didn't try to hit me as I jumped over it.
Wow, that's max damage. Ouch. And Bogner, you feel the poison course through you, and you just kind of shrug it off. You know, it definitely hurt, but and your arm stiffened for a moment, but you're okay.
Bogner's like, oh, I've drank worse than that.
So that was the tentacle. Now it's doing a bite attack, and the bite attack misses you. All right, Bogner, you get to retort its actions. You hit. All right, give it a good whacking.
This thing's got a lot of hit points.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking too.
Just to let you know, Bogner, you do have an action surge capability, which would give you basically another turn, so to speak, if you wish to use it at any time.
I'm good.
Okay. All right, Daelon, you're up.
I looked immediately to see if it was the fancy longsword.
Yeah. As it curled around to make its attacks on Bogner, having never really seen this creature, you weren't sure where to strike as it moved, and you happened to miss.
Maybe I'm just not very good with the longsword.
Gotta find a different profile picture then. Or avatar picture.
No, that's just a
Well,
hilt. There's no blade associated
I-
with that.
No, I wear it nicely.
It's just a knife.
He wears it well, though.
Yes, he does. It's a letter opener.
It's only a model.
Are you done?
What movie was that from, Jeff?
Holy Grail.
That's right. It's just a model.
All right. Evander seeing, let's see. Oh, you know what? He was able to cast Healing Word on Bogner as his held action.
So he says word, and Bogner gets better.
Definitely. And he will hold his action again to heal somebody if it's needed. All right, Nadia, you're up.
2 attacks.
Miss.
Two, missed it.
Missed.
Oh, missed.
Got
Oh,
it.
how did I miss?
Hit it that time.
Oh, because that's a +6. That's my +6. Smack! Drove my hand through its head.
So you're not proficient with the quarterstaff? I think you should be. I think that should have also been. But anyway, it hits, and the creature kind of slumps over and slides down
Well,
into
it
the
says.
crack a little bit. Because the
So it
quarterstaff's
says
a
when I
monk.
look at the quarterstaff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all say +6, but when I pulled that over, it only gave me a +4.
I just clicked on the proficiency star for that to give you the +2, so it's went from +4 to +6.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know why it wasn't clicked already. Okay.
I could have misclicked it myself. Who knows?
All right. So the carrion crawler is dead and falls down into the crack.
How deep's this crack?
It's pretty deep, but after about 6-7 feet, it gets very like 6-8 inches, right? So this carrion
So
crawler is
it's
like,
that carrion crawler is still like wedged up in here. We can still.
yeah. If you wanted to pull it back up, you could. Over time, it'll probably dry out and just slide through because it obviously crawled up through that very thin opening.
Okay. I look over at Tertius, who identified as any reason why we need to pull that thing up here.
Not from what I know of the creature.
No, there's no
Okey-dokey.
properties to be gained.
Unless it's made of gold, but I would have heard that one.
You didn't roll high enough to know of any other benefits. So beyond the bars is a bench with some objects on it.
Can we open the bar?
Yes, let me see here.
Yeah, fair amount.
Yeah, they look like they might be able to move if you want to try to push them open.
Yeah, I'll push him up.
Give me a strength check. Just strength. No, doesn't give. You can see that there seems to be a hatchet and maybe a ring of keys on that bench in the corner there. Maybe a short blade of some kind. And a branch, piece of wood. You're not sure.
Swinging that sword must have really worn me out.
All right. Nadia kind of rattles the bars and it also doesn't move.
Well, might have to wait for Bogner to come back. Unless we want to try to use his head as a wedge.
You can give me an investigation check.
I got distracted by the carrion crawler guts, I think.
Nadia, as you're kind of shaking it after Daelon steps back a bit. You look over and you're like, "Oh, look at this!" And you kind of reach beyond the bars, and there's a latch, like almost like a gate latch, but this one seems to be a little hidden. So you lift it up, and sure enough, that gate swings open in, so you have access to the room. So looking on the bench, this is what you see: a blade with its hilt broken off, and a branch that has been whittled down and has a strange design on one end.
And a hatchet.
And a hatchet.
Any of us able to detect whether there's magic involved?
I was gonna ask, when can I switch out my spells that I have? Because I can only have 4 at a time, right?
That's correct. A long rest. So when you take a long rest, you can switch out your spells. Evander has one spell left. He can cast Detect Magic.
Sure. That's
I'd
a
have
good
him pull
idea.
up and at least look at these things and see if he
Okay.
detects any magic around this stuff.
So he casts Detect Magic, and his first response is, "Whoa." He looks around and he says, this whole this whole area under here seems to have a low aura on just like a general area. This whole area, but I'm sensing he senses magic with this door a little bit, and that's about it. I mean, his this general, kind of like if you're standing in a I don't know how to describe it. Like if you're standing in a room with a bright light, that light just kind of lights up everything, right? This whole place kind of
Gotcha.
has a general aura coming off of it of magic.
Well, we probably should grab the old keys. But when we look at these things that are on the bench, is there anything there that kind of seems like it might be interesting for us to pick up?
Hatchet, no. Nothing's really magical on the on the bench. The branch, yeah, it's a strange design, but doesn't really seem to be magical in and of itself. But this door that I'm pointing to on the map, that does seem to be magical, and there is
No,
um, a lock kind of showing.
probably we want to grab that branch as well, just because you might need that for because it's got some strange design later.
Right.
Jeff,
Yeah,
do
I
you want to
agree.
grab the other stuff?
But for now, just the keys and the branch, and then we could just try the keys on the door.
Okay. Um, all of the keys will fit into the door, and they all turn around freely. Um, but they don't seem to catch on anything or trigger a door to get unlocked. There's a couple keys that are just, they look like antique keys. They're super large in terms of the paddle, and they're very simple in terms of the teeth, and they don't fit at all. Um, they kind of look like that
I'll
old
try the
colonial key.
I'll try the branch and the keyhole, see if that does anything.
Okay. Um, so you put the whittled end that has the symbol on it into and it fits in with room to spare, and you kind of turn it, and the door around the lock on the door glows, and then you hear a very slight click as the door opens just a touch.
Hi.
All right, I'm back.
We just opened a magical door
with a stick.
with a stick,
With
a,
this,
a whittled stick,
Awesome.
partially whittled. All right. Well, it's still your show, so I'm assuming you're leading. So, do you want to unlock tokens again, Jimmy? So we're
I
not.
think they're unlocked. Nope.
And
Nope. I still get the. You're moving this far.
All right, try now. All right.
Now they're unlocked.
all right, I will push the door open.
Okay. This room holds busts of the family patriarchs through the generations. The most recent bust was of what you recognize, Daelon, as your grandfather. There are 3 empty bust stands in the room.
Can we tell anything with the empty ones on? Are they ordered, or is there any particular order we can identify? Like older, newer? Would they? Can we tell based on the others? Would the empty stands be older or newer than my grandfather or any of the other?
You do see a date. Yeah, you see dates, and you can see that there are 5 generations of Silvestari represented by your busts, your grandfather being the most recent. Um, uh, some of the patriarchs lived to be a couple hundred years old. Um, the second oldest lived to be 450 years old. Um, and so your lineage goes back, at least traceable through these busts, over 1,000 years.
Hopefully, the estate's been updated at least once in that time period.
Is Evander, while he comes in here, is he able to? I mean, I'm assuming that the detect magic is still going on.
It's still going on. The table, there's some crystal goblets and some fine glass bottles, but they're not. Most are not filled with anything except one. Oh, excuse me, 2. One is filled with a red liquid, and the other is filled with a very deep amber liquid.
Does one say drink me?
Neither one seem to be. No, no. One says it's like a red wine. You're not. I don't think anybody here is familiar with it. Um, the other says it's a cognac. Cognac.
No magic though. When Evander comes in here, he doesn't detect anything magical.
Not here. As Evander's looking around the room and looking at the empty busts, there's a stairwell down, and there's these very impressive doors down below. And it has an engraving.
Is there anything in the chest?
Yes, you open it up,
Close
and
to my
there's
tattoo.
there's 1,000 gold pieces inside that chest. There's also a document. The quick read says that the document is with a local family, allowing access across the Silvestari lands for a access fee of 200 gold a month, and it looks like it's good for 1 more month. There's some notes made that this was a lenient agreement since the mine for this other family was fairly new, and the note actually says that your grandfather was happy to help them get established. Thought of them well as a nice family. And so down in the double doors, down below this is this family engraving. Did somebody close their window already? Or otherwise I can share
Yeah.
it again.
What is that? That's basically the tattoo, also, right? It seems
It
like it's
is,
a little different.
but the text is different, yeah. And so the leftmost text says steadfast in Elvish. The topmost text says honorable. The rightmost text says just. And the bottom text is your family name, Silvestari.
Do the doors open?
They do not. In fact, Evander says that that these doors are strongly magicked, and you do not see any lock.
You want to search around?
Yeah, let's search. I might also play with the stick in the door a little bit.
You tap the stick on the door along the tree. You touch the stars. The stick does nothing.
Can I say? What if I say the word for friend in Elvish and Dwarvish? Not that I speak Dwarvish.
You say Belloc. Nothing happens.
So, before we continue there, Jeff, do you want to take that 1,000 gold pieces and the note?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'll add a note to the party inventory, and I will add. There's 1,000 gold in the party sheet.
All right. So we know that those are heavily magicked. There's no visible way to open them. There's no keyhole. There's nothing like that. So if we search around this room for a little bit, for like some way to open these.
Roll me investigation checks.
You at least rolled decent that time, Daelon. You didn't
Yep.
have a sword in your hand.
Yeah, it's from learn. Probably should have been a cleric.
Roll me an insight check, Daelon.
What if he just puts his tattoo against the door?
He has no insight.
That is correct.
Tattoos on the back of his
No
neck. He can try it, but it's on the back of his neck. That'd seem like a weird idea.
Yeah, I forgot.
Turn around and put your neck against the thing.
That'd be a pretty secure method, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can give it a try. I'm not gonna naysay it.
Oh, sure.
He sticks to it, and acid starts to corrode him.
You look funny. That's about all that happens.
Yeah, it was entertaining. That's what's important.
We already thought he looked funny, so.
Well, we know it's down here. It's not going anywhere, so we can continue searching the estate, trying to find more documentation, trying to do more insight into this, maybe talk to more family. But we probably need to at least make our way up and see if that Yahoo has reappeared with his evidence.
I agree.
So was there anything interesting on that table in the northwest as far as items that we should consider taking?
Well, there's a ring of keys. There was the stick that allowed us to open the first magical door. There's a broken sword which didn't show any magic or anything, and then there was a hatchet also that didn't show any magic.
Yep. Nothing that would cause
And
anybody to really want those items.
So is there a sword laying just to the east of that crack in the floor, and then another one kind of near the other tomb, kind of
They're
south central?
they would be like broken pieces of a statue, an old statue. They're not really swords. They're more like um,
Okay.
statue carvings. Yeah. Okay. Um, so I'll say that you guys don't know how to you don't know how to get through this door. It you you have a feeling it's a door, but it's heavily magicked and you're not sure how to open it. Um, you go back uh, upstairs. You go find the mayor, who does return with the man um, who signed the document. So he does return shortly after you guys come back up, and the old man is looking at you and kind of he gives you a hug. Actually, you weren't expecting that, and he says he's very sorry for your loss. Your grandfather was a great man and a good protector of the region and of his friends, and it's very sad what happened to him. Um, but he does ask you if you will show him your tattoo, and he points to your neck as if he was expecting it to be up there.
Yeah, I'll show it to him.
Okay.
Hell, you just put it on a door. How other embarrassing things can you do?
So he sees and he goes, "Oh, this is it's the same but different, as if it's not fully active." But he turns and he looks at the mayor and says, "I can attest this young man is indeed the Silver Star heir. This tattoo would not appear on any but the eldest male heir of the line of Silvestari." And the mayor says, "Okay, well that's good enough for me, but I'll need you to fill out some paperwork. There's a 200 gold piece fee for a transfer of ownership and the associated documentation."
So
I think we can all agree that we'll go ahead and allow for the 1,000 gold pieces that we just found to be part of that deal.
I was actually going to ask the mayor, oh, okay, so you'll pay me $2,000 to transfer the information. That's fine. But okay, yeah, we can pay him from that.
Okay, I'll just reduce the party gold from 1,000 to 815. Okay.
And now should we go ahead and, since it's
I'm
already
gonna
there,
whisper to
can we,
Daelon and ask him if he wants me to like threaten to cap the mayor's knees.
I was going to say, should we reimburse Bogner from that party amount as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how much do you want to? The full amount or piece? What do you want to do? In fact, it's your money, Daelon. If you want to take that 800 and put it in your character sheet, then you can pay Bogner back however you wish.
No, we'll pay Bogner back his 170, and then I'll take the, what is it, 630 left. Or actually, we'll leave it in the party sheet for a while for various party expenses.
Okay, so we'll say that it's carried with you, but it's just kind of a general pool.
It's for incidentals.
And so I kind of like the idea of having the estate as a possible base, but if I'm not going to be here to run it, we need somebody to run it. I'm curious about that elf who was hanging around and wondering if he'd be able or interested in running the estate. Well,
You want him to be your major domo.
something like that, yeah.
So you inquire. Thempior is honored that you would ask this of him, but he doesn't feel adequate to the task, and you kind of get the sense that that's not what he's about. I mean, he's armored. He seems to be a man of or an elf of the faith, or of some faith. So he probably has duties elsewhere. But he does promise to find you a steward for the household.
That'd be good.
Okay, and he says it'll probably take a couple days to a week. He'll ask around the locals for to see if any of the previous employees are still available, kind of thing. And he asks.
Well, that should be fine. It's going to take a while.
Okay.
Clear all this shit out of there, right?
Yeah. Does he say, should I write to you, or will you be returning in some amount of time?
We'll figure that out before we get too far away from.
Okay. Well, he says he can give you a couple weeks, and then he actually says somebody else will have to take over if I can't find the staff in a couple weeks. And the man who signed the documentation as the witness, he says he would be happy to complete those duties to find the previous staff if you would allow him. So it looks like it can be taken care of in your absence.
Yep.
Okay.
So the notary that's there, can we ask him if there's anything we need to know about that coin we found? Does he know anything about that coin, the one that had the skull head on it? You can ask Tempier for that matter as well.
Neither one have seen that coin. One of the men.
So should that be in our party sheet?
He is not.
Or is that in his? Is that in Dalen's inventory or?
No, the mayor had it actually. He showed it.
Okay.
Or did he give it to you, Daelon? I don't know if he gave it to you. I know he showed it to you.
Yeah, I don't remember if we specified.
I think he just showed it to you.
I think he just showed it to us. So can we have that coin?
Yeah, I'll put something in there.
Yeah, that'd be something we need to show people if we're gonna research why your family was killed. And then that document that we have, so do we have any kind of dates on this that show that you said it goes for one more month? Should we be expecting Daelon to get a fee here sometime soon, or a payment sometime soon, or are we gonna have to go search for this?
Well, not only that, when this contract expires, I assume that means they don't have access afterwards, so somebody has to renegotiate a new contract.
Yeah, you suspect that while you don't know the family, that somebody will probably show up. So you will either need to be back here to handle that, or you will need to leave instructions.
Right.
To whoever. Do you wish to leave instructions, or just?
We'll probably want to do both, right? Leave instructions. Yeah. You may be back here, but I mean, we've got some zombies, or what was that? Was it zombies we need to go figure out?
So right now you still have a quest or directive from the City Watch of Daggerford to go visit an outlying farm about a zombie attack.
So yeah, and I'll, I mean, I would leave instructions to maintain the same contract at the same rate for heck another couple years before worrying about it again. Or that's what I would do if I was still here also.
Okay.
I mean, heck, while the notary guy is here, I could always write something up like that and have him witness it, just so that's there too.
Okay. So I would say at this point you're probably heading back to Daggerford so you can complete your quest to the city, your obligation to the City Watch, or quest really. You're not necessarily obligated.
So are we near another?
Stopping point?
Are we near another? So we're near a town. Can I see if they if there's a place where I can acquire thieves' tools and potentially start doing some investigation on them?
No, not here.
Okay.
And I can switch out my spells now.
Sure.
When it says you touch a creature, does that mean humans or only like actual
A creature. Whatever a creature is, but you have to touch it.
Which means you got to be within that melee range.
Or somehow extend your arm beyond 5 feet, which I'm not aware of that being possible at the moment without polymorph.
So, fantasy ground question. Earlier, not currently, but earlier, Bogner's portrait had Z's on it, like he was sleeping.
So that occurs
What
when
was that
somebody
about?
hasn't done anything with respect to the fantasy grounds table. And so it basically shows that they've either stepped away from the table or they just haven't done anything with it.
Gotcha. So do you have storylines? So I know obviously you've got the Daelon storyline, and sounds like you've got more around that. Do you have storylines around each of the other folks here, or are you working on those?
I have storylines for both Bogner and for Nadia. I don't have anything for Tertius. I have a loose storyline around Evander, but he's not a main character, so to speak, right? He's a supporting character.
Yeah,
so
but he hangs out with us, so
he
that'd be
does.
cool to figure that out too.
Right.
Cool. I'm gonna hop off, so I'll see you guys.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna award experience
Cool.
for everybody, and then I was also going to see if I can award a simple quest experience here real quick. Let me figure out how to do that.
So did you already award experience?
I did, and I'm going to award 250 experience for gaining ownership of the estate.
All right. So that puts me at 976 of 900.
Yep. So the 4 of you will have leveled up to level 3, and Tertius will be just shy of level 2.
Okay.
Cool.
So what's the correct way to level?
So to level, what you would do is you would open up the class tab all the way in the far right of the Fantasy Grounds table.
Player's Handbook Deluxe, right?
Yes. And then you would,
Not Sword Coast Adventure.
on your character sheet main, you would drag the shield of that class over onto your character sheet, and it would automatically increment your class. And then it would trigger any specializations that you guys have, as well as any other bonuses you get at level 3. And you don't have to do that now. We could do that at the beginning of the next session. We could do it anytime during the week. It's up to you guys. So Tertius, since you haven't leveled,
yeah, one class.
you can take off, I guess.
Cool. Catch you guys later.
All right,
Later.
sir.
I got one
Later.
level of monk class added in Nadia Fair. My average hit points for additional monk level is added, so I got another 7 hit points. But now I need to go pick out like my skills there.
Gotta choose your path. Yeah.
So where do I do that?
So when you dragged it over, it didn't automatically ask you to choose your path.
No, I did not get a pop-up, and I dragged it from the classes table this time, like you just said. I did it from the DD PHB Deluxe. Dragged that shield.
Interesting. Okay, then left click to open up that
I can hit-
character class, so it brings up the information window. Scroll all the way down, and I think you can left click and drag onto your abilities your path, like if it's Way of Shadow or something. So interesting, it didn't automatically pull that over.
So Way of the Shadow is what I'm picking.
Okay, so left click and drag that onto you there. All right.
Okay, so there we go. I got Way of the Shadow.
All right, so within Way of the Shadow, you get Shadow Arts, and that's the only thing that goes active at level 3. And
Right.
So Shadow Arts gives you the darkness, dark vision, everything else. So I can hang out here and help you set that stuff up.
Okay, and I should get another key point, right?
Let's see, because that's based on I think that's true.
Third level says 3 key points.
Yep.
And I also get Deflect Missiles and Monastic Tradition. Well, Monastic Tradition is the Way of the Shadow. This is where I get the Deflect Missiles, though. And that's that one that needs to be added to the... Is that abilities or actions? That's the one where I think it's actions, where you have to add a whole nother ability little thing that says I can deflect the arrow, or I could grab it if I roll, reduce the damage down to 0, that whole thing.
Right. Kevin, did it when you dragged from the class, not from your character sheet. I know there's a magnifying glass in your character sheet that brings up class level. But if you opened up from the library side of things, classes, and you dragged your fighter over, I see you're already level 3. Did it pop up a selection of
For specialization?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at which one of the 3 I want
Okay.
to choose.
Okay, good. All right, take your time. Daelon, did it do the same for you?
Yeah, I've been leaning towards vengeance the whole time, but I'm reading all the others.
So
Okay,
Jimmy, you know what, now that I see it, so you know how I stretched across 2 screens? It opened it up way on the other side of my other screen underneath the party sheet. I just started closing stuff down, and it said select specialization,
Oh,
and it gave me 5 possibilities versus I'm still taking Shadow, but it gave me Sun Soul, Open Hand, Four Elements, Shadow, and Long Death as choices.
Okay, so it did look at all the other stuff that you had open to pull that in. Okay, good.
Yeah, but it hit it, and since
Okay.
I'm using dual
So
screens,
click on shadow, select shadow arts.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay, so you're good. So
That's in abilities. I have Shadow Arts now.
yeah. All right.
So now I need those cantrips and that stuff.
So let's bring up spells here.
Yeah, so I can do Darkness, Dark Vision, Pass Without a Trace, Silence, without any material components. And I can cast the Minor Illusion cantrip as often as I want it.
All right, so there's darkness. And there's dark vision, and I'm just adding those directly from the spell.
And I don't really need the Dark Vision one added. You can take that one away because I've already got Dark Vision, right?
That's true, but
I'm never going to use it.
you can use this to grant dark vision to somebody else.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought these were all like personal.
Yep, that one is not.
Okay. Can I unclick my flurry of blows? I'm assuming we're having a long rest now.
Sure, if it's bothering you.
My
go
key
ahead.
point. It is. It's bugging me. You know me.
That's why I said that. If it's bugging you, go right ahead. All right, so we've got darkness, dark vision, pass without a trace, silence, minor illusion. Okay.
That's a cantrip, and that one I should not need any key points for.
Yep, that's just a spell cantrip. So if you look in your actions.
Then where do I drag the specialization to?
Okay, so for you, Kevin, does it show you a selection of those specializations?
It has a screen that basically says choose, and there's 3 from the list.
Okay, so
I'm assuming I grab the little shield, and then where do I drag it to?
I think there's a click box next to the one you want to choose. So just click box that, like a check box or a circle box or something. There you go.
Got it, okay.
Auto adds it. You're a champion. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so your weapon attack score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20. So we will have to test with you if that's actually roll some attacks until you roll a 20, a 19, and see if it counts it as a critical hit in the chat window. I know it's a little tedious, but I want to test. I've been wanting to test this out to see if it'll auto-calculate a crit on a 19.
Click on advantage so you get 2 rolls each time.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
There's a 19.
Okay, now roll damage, and that should count as a crit. And your weapon damage.
Well, it's in green.
Well, that's because it's an advantage. Okay,
okay.
So I wonder.
It didn't take it as a.
Now let me do.
You may have to do something with that.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna bring up some poor creature. Oh, I don't want encounters. I want NPC. That's what I want. Yeah, it just says hit. Hmm. So that's a critical hit. That's a 20. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Ah, okay. So what we do, Bogner, to fix this is on your actions tab under weapons, there's a magnifying glass on your weapons banner. And you get to crit on a 20 and a range 20, but you get extra crit dice. And under melee, we're going to say 19, I think. So I'm going to see if that means that you get it on a 19 or 20.
So
No, I think
where
that's
is that
damage
from?
dice. I think so. Melee, you get a crit. Okay, so let's try that. Has it improved critical? Is this only melee? No, your weapon. Okay.
I mean, when I click on the magnifying glass, it brings up like weapon one hammer, and then there's an attack and a damage stat there.
Right. Okay, so let's re-roll again for your Warhammer and see if we can get a 19 again. Now that I've made that adjustment to your crit range. Oh, you did disadvantage. No, we're fine. We're fine. Because what it did is it dropped. Yeah, so it says crit 19. So, yeah, so keep rolling. I want to make sure that you get a crit on a 19 and a 20. And I'll do some quick research here. Make sure we're setting this up correctly.
I thought that the crits had to be on a natural.
They do. They do.
That wasn't a natural.
No, it wasn't. I misread. That crit 19 is just a status effect for the roll. So I want him to see a 19, a natural 19, and then I'd like to also see him roll a natural 20 and verify I haven't just moved his 20 crit to a 19 crit.
Yeah, but you need to see if on this one, when he rolls the one that says crit 19, you need to see if he, so it's not saying that he did crit, because there's a crit 19, we got a critical hit there.
On a 20.
So have him do roll damage.
No, so that's fine. It says a critical hit on the 20. So keep rolling until we get a 19. And so you can see the crit damage show up. So I believe on a natural 19, we'll see that also critical hit pop up.
The crit damage, yeah. Go to advantage against your rolling 2. It just won't take as long. There we go. It says critical hit on it. Now roll your damage.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how we fix it. And you get your extra die.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the simple way to do it. So I don't have to do an effect. And you will crit.
So what did you do? Because I guess I didn't see what you modified.
Okay, so you can see your weapons banner, right, where it says weapons above all your weapon actions. There's a magnifying glass on that brown banner, right? So it should say weapon meta Bogner crit on.
Oh, okay.
And so I changed those 20s. Those 19s were 20s, so I made them 19s now. And the extra crit dice is extra damage, so we're not making any changes to that. So now you'll crit on a 19 or 20 automatically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So instead of a 5% critical chance, you're at a 10% critical chance.
Yeah, I was clicking on the magnifier next to like the warhammer, not the one that put the weapon banner.
Gotcha.
All right, so since you did that, I still need to do deflect missiles.
Okay, and is that a... Oh, that's only a key if we...
If I want to do an attack.
Okay, so let's do this here. So we will add a... So first we're going to do a damage roll. And that damage roll is what?
It doesn't say. It says it's a attack as a monk proficient attack, regardless of what I throw. But it doesn't tell me what the damage is. So the verbiage is, if I do this, so like I go ahead and I use my reaction to deflect or catch a missile when I hit by a ranged attack at 20 to 60 feet. When I do so, the damage I take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus my dex modifier plus my monk level. If I reduce the damage to 0, I catch the missile. If it's small enough for me to hold in one hand, and I have at least one hand free, I can try to catch the missile. If I catch the missile in this way, I can spend one key point to make a ranged attack with the weapon or piece of ammunition I just caught as part of the same reaction. So I'm guessing whatever the missile comes in is what I have to say it's worth. So if it was a dart, it would be 1d4 plus 4. If it's a arrow, it would be 1d6 plus 4. Actually, I think a longbow has a different one even there, so a sling may have different too. So
Okay, so what I've done is I've added a deflect missiles. It's one key to attack at 20-60 range. Okay, you'll have an initial damage roll. That's this 1d10 plus 7. Then we're going to give you a ranged attack. Which should be more than plus 2, right? Oh, I know why, because
it should be, I'm proficient, so.
Yeah, hold on. So it should be... It's not ability. Oh, ability, stat, dex, plus proficiency, okay? So there's your plus 6 to attack. And then the damage is what?
Well, that's the hard part because it doesn't tell me the damage. It tells it's a monk weapon, but it's not necessarily. I mean, a monk weapon, a dart does 1d4 plus 4 in this case. My short bow does 1d6 plus 4. So I don't know it. I mean, I don't know what you put down for that.
It would be like a dart. It'd be 1d4 plus 4 to start.
So you're saying it goes the same as my unarmed?
Yes.
Okay, so 1d4 to 4 for now, and then when I get to level 5, it would go up to 1d6.
Correct. Okay, so the way
Okay.
this works is you'd say, I'm going to attempt to deflect a missile. Somebody is shooting me, and they're hitting me for 11 points of damage. You'd roll your damage, like I just did there, and I don't know if you can see it, but you'd say 10. All right, well, you deduct 10 points of that 11, and they'd only do 1 point of damage to you. We'll have to do that manually in the combat tracker, but we can do that. Let's roll it again. So there, you'd say, oh, I rolled 14. That exceeds the 11, so I'd say, all right, you take no damage and you snatch the arrow. Do you want to throw it back? If you say yes, then you'd use your key point, and then you'd do a ranged attack, right? And then apply your 1d4 plus 4 damage.
Gotcha. That works.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
At 5th level, one of the abilities says I get an extra attack. What's an extra attack?
So it says you can attack
Is that
twice.
every round?
As your attack action, you can attack twice, as opposed to just once. So right now, your attack action gives you 1 attack, and your bonus action
But I also
would give you a bonus
Okay.
attack. This says under your attack action, you get 2 attacks, and then your bonus action would still have an attack. Flurry.
So
Flurry of
if I
blows
spend a
would
key
give you
point, I could have up to
4.
okay. I could have total of 4 attacks in a round. Okay. But if I'm attacking at level 5, see at level 5 it doesn't necessarily mean I need to use a quarterstaff anymore unless I have a magical quarterstaff that's going to do better. Because at level 5 I actually think I do 1d6 on unarmed damage. Yeah. So at level 5 I actually go up to 1d6 damage on unarmed attacks. So I no longer, quarterstaff doesn't matter.
Thank you for everybody who's been watching.
So unless I have a magical quarterstaff that would actually add to my damage for some